Well, today we're going to talk about how dumb this market is. And by dumb, I mean dumb expensive. We got an SBC leak for today, and we've got some gamble pack news, kind of, but we don't have a ton of news today. I'm going to praise EA about one thing today, and then complain probably a lot about something else. So bear with me on that. But we did get some pretty decent content today, actually. If you guys want to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. The link is in the description. Use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. I suppose kind of combining it with Fridays and Saturday's content, it's pretty good. We got Ricardo Carvalho who came out. Ariel and Anticipate Plus is really good, I'm not gonna lie. Only problem is, of course, Chelsea is the team that he is based on, so will he get any upgrades? Well, I mean, you be the judge of that one. But it looks like a very good card, I'm not gonna lie. The play styles are all there. It is 5 squads to complete, and we are looking at, you know, an 89 thrown in there, which is tough, an 88, 87, 86, and 85. It's coming in at 700k, so be the judge on if that's worth it or not. I probably would say if you got some fodder and you need a center back, sure. Outside of that, probably not. We did get David Ginola, though. I just realized my overlay wasn't on. I was gonna say you can't see it because my big fat head's in the way, but 16 squads is needed for Ginola. 16 squads. Plus, we have, I think, yeah, 2 90s. 90 rated squads right now are not easy. It's coming in around 2.8 million coins, and I'm not going to lie, I don't really know if that's worth it. I don't really know if it's gonna be. I don't, because the icon chemistry, you know, it's not icon chemistry, it's hero chemistry. It's 5-star, 5-star, technical plus, like, obviously it's a very good card. And I will say I haven't really used this one myself, used the base one for a little while. So obviously I'm just kind of speaking on what I think here. But if I had to guess, I'd probably save your fodder from this one, you know, save it for something bigger, because it will be really hard to get a 90 rated squad done just off of like grinding, because you have to pack all 90s pretty much, and packing 90s is really hard. You're probably gonna have to buy some players in both these 90 rated squads. It would be really hard to avoid almost 1 million coins of this. I'm not gonna lie, it would be really hard to avoid that. But I will praise them quickly here. I do like the Fantasy FC Cup bonus a lot. I'm not gonna lie, you just gotta play 3 games, get a little player pick, and 81 times 2 in there for doing that as well. And then you get all of this here, the FC Cup bonus completionist, and I like it. You know, you can get all these packs you see here for just playing 3 games every single day. I do still wish there was not a match limit on it. There's not in the cup, obviously, but there kind of is on like the cup bonus objective. I think this is still better than what we had before, but yeah, I do like that. I do play completionist as well. This is here, and you can get it in any of the game modes, so I do like that too. I do also want to reward grinders at the same time as like making it so you can kind of grind it all at once. That's kind of like my ideal situation, so that's kind of why I like the Fantasy FC Cup without the match limits. But anyway, let's talk about the upcoming SBC today. We're going to get smaller rec today, it looks like. Carvalho was today, smaller rec is going to be tomorrow, which is today. It's based on the Feyenoord performances. It's smaller rec, it's tough to say what he's going to get. People didn't really kind of like him at the start of this year because I think he is press proven plus. Isn't that correct? Yes, press proven plus, but we kind of now know press proven is a pretty good play style. He only has press proven and quick step, so we kind of have to rely on EA to make him a lot better, not going to lie, but he'll be better than 3-star, 3-star. Press proven plus is pretty good. It'll probably be a decent SBC if I had to just take my best guess at it. Of course, you know, we're talking Eredivisie links, which isn't the best either. The chemistry isn't also like the biggest deal anymore, honestly. But here's this tweet here I want to talk about. So AC Fut Trader's a very reliable leaker. This guy says, so the icon they said is coming isn't actually coming, question mark. He said, yes, they replaced it with Ginola. Content can be changed. That's why some stuff like the R9 leak from Sheriff was wrong. He was coming, but EA changes stuff. So yeah, so apparently they did just completely change the icon SBC leak. This guy says, Rolfo gonna go in the graveyard of SBCs too. He said, no, she's coming, but not today. So she's not canceled, but will be on the way sometime soon. But yeah, looks like we're not seeing the icon SBC. If you don't know what we're talking about, EA on their upcoming tweet for the week, they tweet out the content, right? They tweeted out a base icon SBC was coming. We never saw it. So clearly they decided to change it to Ginola, and we'll just never know why. I mean, we're just not going to know why. But Rolfo should be on the way relatively soon as well here. We also got news that Team of the Year icons will be added into the next icon upgrade SBC, which we would kind of assume would be today, which means you now have options of R9, Mia Hamm, Patrick Vieira, Rio Ferdinand, and Lothar Matthäus. They will not be making this cheap. No, they won't. And it's also going to have a lot of shitters in it. I can guarantee you that. So whatever icon pick or pack is coming out is going to now have Team of the Year icons, which you you also would assume after this, we'll kind of from now on have Team of the Year icons as well. So yeah, that's kind of like all the news we've really got at the moment. We did get a new right back evolution. If you want to go like look at FUT GG to see if there's any good cards in there, you can go look. It's just, unfortunately, it's paid, so I don't really like looking at the paid ones too much. But like Mbabu looks interesting, not going to lie. Tavernier looks like a really good all-around card there. There are some good ones, so you probably could find some gems if you wanted to look in there, but it is 100,000 coins, I believe. And also Timo Werner's getting a +1. He scored today, so he's already getting a +1. Tottenham got a win. I mean, it's looking great for the Timo Werner SBC. EA probably are not happy he's already scored and got all this stuff. Richarlison's hurt, by the way, so Werner's gonna play like every game. So it's chalked up for 3 upgrades probably at this point. I'm not going to lie for Timo Werner. Hopefully I don't jinx it. And Konate also got a +1 with the clean sheet upgrade as well. So that's nice to see for Konate owners. Here's kind of what I want to talk about today a little bit. Promos nowadays either fodder or insanely expensive, not much middle ground. And this is EA's goal, right? This is all EA would love to do, is they fantasize about this market. That's why they've created this market. Looking at the fantasy FC team 2, this is probably the biggest example of it this year. You have no cards that are between 162,000 to 1,000,000 coins, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards above 1,000,000. So you have 5 cards above 1,000,000 and 0 cards in that sort of middle range of 100,000 coins to 1.2 million. This is why this market this year sucks. It just straight up sucks, because you can't grind your way up to an Ousmane Dembele. It's almost, I mean, it is impossible. You're not going to be able to just play FUT champs and get lucky in your rewards and be a good player to earn 7.5 million coins. You can't do it. Even to get Luis Diaz, even to get Federico Chiesa, it's really along those lines where it's like, hey, that's one player in your team you maybe could grind towards if you got lucky and traded a bunch. But outside of that, I mean, you're looking at just super duper expensive players. And some people will say to that, you know, well, we don't really like where the market is cheap. We want to have people that we can pack, have it be worthwhile. And I understand that to a certain farther extent. This is like you pack a discard player or you pack somebody who's 2 million coins. But the thing is, you're not going to pack somebody who's worth 2 million coins in a tradable pack without spending FIFA points. I mean, you're just not going to. This whole problem is also created because of their game mode problem, which hopefully they're kind of addressing now with this Fantasy Cup, but they know they need to address. It's the same thing with the heroes, by the way. 4.3, 3.9, 2.7, 1.2. A couple of these in like the lower 100k ends there, but Lucio's extinct as well. The game mode problem is why this exists too. There is no reason to actually use any of these mid-tier cards. You either use SBCs or you go and try and buy these 5 million coin cards. You know, that's the only thing you can really do to have a great team, and there's no point in having a non-great team or non-best team you can possibly put together because there's no incentive to make that team. And EA know that, and I think this is why they have made a very boring game this year, because we needed new game modes at the start of this game just so terribly bad, but they could not help themselves because they wanted to make this. They wanted to make a market that was like this because they knew it was going to make them a fuck ton of money. And that's really the only thing you can say about it. They knew having almost no mid-tier market was going to really, you know, just cause massive sales for them on FIFA points, because to get these cards, I mean, you have to pack how many 91 rated Kevin De Bruyne's to afford one Ferland Mendy? Let's do the math. 6.5 million coins. De Bruyne's 57,000. That is 114 Kevin De Bruyne's you have to pack to pack Ferland Mendy. And how many FIFA points is that to pack 114 KDBs? You have to, I mean, just it's an ungodly number, right? To afford. I understand it's like the best of his version in the game. I understand that, but the point is the balance here between, you know, the really super expensive cards you basically can't touch and will never be able to afford, and everybody else is just insanely high. And that's a problem this year. That's why this game has felt kind of stale a lot of the time, is when you have a no mid-tier market, no reason to use any players that are outside the meta, and all the best players comes SBCs because you can't afford anything else on the market. You can't afford anything else. Yeah, you can upgrade a player or two, but that's kind of it. You can't buy a full tradable team unless you have 10 million coins, 15 million coins to actually compete and be better than your Eusebio you completed, your Mbappe you completed. This problem can all be alleviated by not giving us worse SBCs, by giving us a reason to just not have to use meta cards at every turn all the time. This problem would instantly be way, way better. And hopefully they're doing that now with the cup, right? That's what you would hope. Well, first of all, let's go back to that cheapest players by rating thing here, because if you bought 91s, a good job. I mean, yeah, they're flying up right now. Even 90s and 89s are kind of staying the same, which is a good sign because we saw a huge increase in supply on them. And now they're kind of starting to slowly rise up, which you would hope they would even see more of a rise as time goes on. With the gamble pack coming, it might require a little bit higher rated squads this time because they have Team of the Year icons in it. We'll have to wait and see, but okay, let's read your comments. At MegaPhilMatt says, the icon or hero debate is the reason I have an issue with Cantona being an icon. Massive club contribution, but no country/nation impact. And then Acedia says, there are plenty of icons with more club contribution than national impact. It's not the end all be all. Look at any English icons, for example, minus Charlton and Moore. And I think people are trying to like understand the qualifications for icon, where icon is like club and nation status, whereas hero is just one of them, like one of nation or club status. But I don't think it's that black and white. I think EA don't even think about that. I think they just try their best to make cards an icon or hero that they do, and there's no like classification or reasoning really behind it other than I think he's an icon. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Like people will just meet together and be like, is this guy an icon? And they'll just say, I think so, and then make him an icon. If there was a system behind it, we'd probably know about it. So I think they just kind of go off gut feeling. Honestly, that's what I assume. I could be totally wrong about that. At Diamond Plays says, haven't you said that EA should release free evolutions that are good but take a lot of games to complete? Why are you complaining about how many games there are for the Future Stars Evo? And I would say I'm fine with them being or taking a lot of games to complete if we could do more than one at a time. Because when you intentionally release this many at once and they're not actually as meta as they could be, you know, EA know that they're not as meta as they could be. EA know that, right? But they all take 25 wins to complete individually. And that is a lot of games, and not only games, just wins in general. So that's kind of where I almost draw my line a little bit. I'm fine making them more games to complete if they're going to be very good. And I think that you can make an argument that some of these cards are very good stat-wise. Just the play styles for me are just not good enough. And you can only do one at a time, and 25 wins for, you know, all of these Future Stars Academy products is just a little too much for me. Yes, I am fine with cards being a little bit more in games when I think they're a little bit better than this. And also, I would be much more inclined to like it if we could do two at a time. Because I think there's a balance there between, you know, having a lot of games on cards and then making them good, and then also giving us this, which is just like a ton of games and the cards are good, but are they gonna make your team? I mean, are any of these guys in your team? Like, it's tough. And I understand evolutions too are not gonna be for everybody all the time. Like, it's okay to have an Evo come out where you're like, all right, not for me, but it's still pretty good. You know, you don't have to have every piece of content be just for you. So it is a delicate balance, and I'm definitely understanding of that. I just think that this balance is probably not right. Does that make sense? And lastly here, Sane says more interested in the rumored Cruyff SBC. Fortunately, it is just rumors. I saw some of it on Twitter, but nothing was substantiated, so I didn't, you know, talk about it or anything like that because I didn't want to give any like leakers any more what's the word, gas to the fire. Is that the right thing I'm thinking of here? So I'm just gonna assume it's not coming out, but obviously if we have news about Cruyff, we'll talk about it. So subscribe if you're new, and thank you all for watching. Love you all. See you soon. Peace.